Okay, what the heck is going on with episode 6 of Chainsaw Man? What did I just witness right now? Honestly, it felt like a bunch of people losing their freaking minds on the 8th floor. So pretty much this episode of Chainsaw Man picked up from where the last one left off, and I'm not even gonna lie. Part of me, I was here like, yo, am I watching a group of people lose their freaking minds? Because that's what that felt like with that episode between Kobeni going nuts. Like, dog, why didn't anybody just, I don't know, yoke her up real quick and take that knife? Because she was acting like an absolute nut job, flat out. Like, this is, I want to say, the first episode that didn't have any Makima. I could be off on that, but it felt like this was the first episode that there was no Makima. It was straight up contained to the cast that we have here, and there was a lot of character development in between it, a lot of characterization, getting to understand some bonds even more, because we definitely explored more of the relationship between Aki and Himeno. They have something, I don't know if you would call it romantic per se, but definitely they have a very strong camaraderie, and it shows that Aki isn't as bad as he first was displayed. Remember when we first saw Aki in the first couple episodes? He was pretty mean. He was pretty mean to Denji. He was pretty mean to Power. He was, well, more so to Denji, shall I say. You know, he spit on him. But now, in retrospect, you could throw the argument we're seeing the pieces come together in the way that Fujimoto does it so well, that we're seeing why Aki is the way he is and trying to get people out of this devil hunter life. Like, that's something that I'm not even gonna lie, fascinating how Fujimoto, if you connect the dots the way he does of show, not tell. Denji, he was probably trying to save by, yo, I'm gonna tell her that you ran off, alright? Remember back in like episode 2 where he basically tried to get Denji to run off or whatever. Now you could throw the argument that based on what he saw the past of Himeno, he really was just trying to spare him. He was really just trying, like, yo, dog, this ain't the kind of life that you want, you know what I'm saying? Seeing that flashback of Himeno, how pretty much every time she would have a partner die, she would have to take it up with the grieving widow or any remaining family members, and oftentimes they would treat her like crap, like that one woman that smacked her in the face because the partner died or whatever. And Aki getting to understand and see, like, yo, this is messed up. Himeno's a good person, she ain't doing nothing wrong, like, this is the duty, this is the line of work that they're in. And that was kind of funny of him being a little petty putting gum. Like, I think Power and Denji would have done a lot worse to that woman than putting gum, but that's his little way of being childish as well, which also, if you think about it, kind of ties in on of how Aki, I guess, relates to Denji and Power in a way, because he can also be a little bit childish as well. So it kind of just gave us a whole bunch of characterization on Aki's character, but also, again, all of the trials and tribulations that Himeno has gone through. Because remember, despite the fact that we've seen Himeno here and there throughout the anime so far, this is the first couple of episodes where we're really diving into who this character is, and seems like she's been through a lot of stuff, to say the least. But also, Aki's power, really a tough decision right there. Like, if I was Aki personally, well, no, I can't even say if I was Aki, because pretty much his ability kind of reminds me of something like in One Piece with Luffy, where he will lose years of his life if he uses this ability. So pretty much is one of those things where let's try and not use it at all costs if we possibly can. And so much so, again, you see the camaraderie between Himeno and him, that Himeno is like, not even last resort, like, let's just not do it all together. Meanwhile, again, you got this nut job Kobeni. Dog, Kobeni, I don't know, a lot of people, and I kind of forgot about how Kobeni was just like a ravaging lunatic in these parts of the story or whatnot, because a lot of people love Kobeni. Part of me is like, do I want the little unhinged nut job with the knife, or I probably still stick with Power or Himeno? I'm just saying, because Power was absolutely hilarious in this episode yet again. It's like you have kind of the perfect recipe almost of characters. You got the comedic relief with Power, that, she's just absurd and funny as hell. Then of course you got MC Denji. Then of course you got the deep and troubled characters like Aki and Himeno. Then you got this unhinged psycho Kobeni, which is kind of hilarious because she's really just like a nervous girl. You even get a little more into her backstory, that pretty much she had two choices, and that's what makes, I think, Chainsaw Man feel a little bit more mature. And that's one of the things that made me fall in love with Chainsaw Man to begin with, is that these are more adult decisions that they're making. This is more of an adult atmosphere within an anime that is so freaking popular, because her choices in life from her parents was, yo, we want your brother to go to college. We want this dude to get accepted into, big university, big things, so to speak. So you got two choices. You could be a devil hunter where, you're putting your life on the line and you're fighting crazy, scary devils or whatnot. Or you could be a sex worker. And I was just there like, yeah, this isn't your typical Oni-chan classroom anime by any stretch of the imagination. Because seeing that tear down Kobeni, like, I wanted to go to college too. It makes you curious about this character. Like, so she's clearly a nervous wreck, very much so riddled with anxiety. She's willing to pretty much put Denji down, so to speak, just so they could get out of there because she's so nuts. At one point, the damn girl freaking tries to drink out of the toilet. Dog, like, if that don't scream unhinged, I don't know what will. Now, again, granted, they're stuck on this floor. They don't know how to get out of here. This is the quote-unquote eternity devil, so to speak. They're stuck here. It seems as though time has frozen. In fact, at one point, it looked like the clock was towards the end of the episode going backwards. That was something that I was like, maybe I'm just seeing things, or was the clock going backwards? Because initially Aki says, yo, we've been stuck on 8:18 for a good minute. Like, the clock ain't moving. What's going on here? So this devil is very tricky, and again, something very fierce. Not to mention the fact that seemingly that's the same devil that they defeated just an episode ago, except now it's a giant freaking sludge monster. So yeah, can't say that this is going to be an easy walk in the park, but I gotta say, considering this episode was mainly set up and build up to the next one, it didn't feel like a corny filler episode, because the episodes like this could easily be trash. Like, this could have easily been a very boring episode, but considering it utilized, okay, we can't get out of here, so how about we learn about these characters and why you should care about these characters. And of course, it just, I don't know, man, it just really, once again, even on a slower episode like this, reminds me, I really love Chainsaw Man. Like, this is really one of my favorite stories of all time, honestly. Like, there's a lot of great anime and manga out there, but episodes like this just remind me again, like, it's so simple. Like, it's so simple that these are just a bunch of broken people that are dealing with a situation that, yo, this is how we get paid. This is how we live. This is how we survive. If Power and Denji walk away from this, Makima's gonna kill them. If Kobeni don't get the job done, her big brother don't go to college and her family's gonna hate her. If Himeno walks away, what does that say to all of the partners that she's had in the past? If Aki walks away, what will become of his whole goal of getting rid of the gun devil and avenging his brother and shit like that? So everybody has something on the line right here. It's not like they could just walk away and, be scot-free, so to speak. There's a lot of damage here, and that again adds to the whole element of, yes, there's devils in this world, yes, this is a crazy, like, whoa, Chainsaw Man, but there's more to it, to the characters, and this is what makes you, I guess, get bonded to them, so to speak. Like, I love Power. Everything regarding even the ridiculous stuff that she's doing this episode is freaking awesome. Like, she's dim-witted, but she's awesome. Kobeni, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna just keep it real, Kobeni scares me. Like, I would not want Kobeni, considering the fact that she takes it so far at one given point that she stabs Aki. I'm there like, get me away from her. If I was there like, dog, throw everybody Power. If I was there, I'd be like, Power, get her. Drag her, throw her down the elevator shaft. I don't care. Like, just take on that damn knife away, because she's a little bit unhinged. And I know I'm going to probably see some Kobeni fanboys. Like, if you're a Kobeni fanboy, I'm a little worried about you, fam. Like, I'm a Himeno fanboy. I'm a Power fanboy. I don't know about Makima, but yeah, and I rock with Denji heavy, and even I would throw the argument, now that I think about it, watching this episode, I almost am starting to like Aki more in the anime than I liked in the manga. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I'll be a little bit flippant when I would talk about Aki, but again, getting episodes like this and just reminding yourself, like, yo, he's going through a lot too, and he's not a bad guy either. He just, like, when he was being mean to Denji and them, that was just him trying to protect. He's almost like a big brother in a way. What he did for Himeno in the past was trying to protect him. And then you still have, amongst all of this tragedy, all of this insanity, Denji's still like, yo, back against the wall, I guess, right? It's me, I gotta be, because basically the devil's like, yo, give me that dude right there, the chainsaw dude. Yeah, y'all go free. We make a contract right now. Yeah, y'all go free. Let me just get that dude. Which, why is everybody after the chainsaw devil? What's so special? Like, yo, you want to chomp on chainsaws? Just makes you think for a second, like, what's so special about the good old Chainsaw Man? Now, granted, you could throw the argument, dog, he's special himself. He's not a fiend. He's not a devil. He's some weird hybrid to begin with, but just makes you question. But yeah, at the very least, you got to give it to Denji that he was so scared of Kobeni's Kobeni's knife that he's like, I'd rather go against the big monster than Kobeni's knife. No, okay, that wasn't the case. But yeah, Denji, the real one, about to go throwing full throttle into this situation. And part of me is like, well, let's see how this goes, because that's a giant monster. And I don't know if Denji's ready for that life. Honestly, this episode, it feels like, in a weird way, you could argue, progression-wise, in terms of being stuck on the 8th floor and fighting against this devil, it wasn't the biggest progression, but it gave so much to these characters. And this is episodes right here where you will learn to love these characters. You will grow very fond of these characters, because now you understand them more. Now you understand Aki's asshole nature. Now you understand Kobeni being a nervous wreck. Like, dog, she's putting on for her family in the situation that she don't want to be putting on for her family, dog. She'd rather go to college. Himeno is just so messed up, and like, you could even throw a twisted argument that her offering that kiss to Denji is her as well doing anything and everything in her power to make sure another partner, another comrade, another person that she's working with on this devil hunter job doesn't die. Like, yo, that'll keep him going for a while. He won't let it kill him if he knows that I'm gonna put my tongue down his throat. Like, pause, by the way. Pause. But yeah, honestly, I don't know. It's weird to say that this was a phenomenal episode of Chainsaw Man, despite the fact that, again, not much on the progression side. This isn't a fanboy talk or anything like that. It's straight up, this episode gave you the best characterization possible in the most weird, twisted circumstances. Like, I'm probably gonna rewatch this episode again, because it was just that damn good in its own way. Like, I don't know, if you don't love the characters and cast of Chainsaw Man by this episode, Chainsaw Man's probably not for you. Like, if you're this deep into Chainsaw Man and you're watching all of this wackiness and whatnot and you don't really care for it, probably not for you. And that's a shocker, because I feel like Chainsaw Man's just so good. But I'm curious what you guys think. How did you feel about this episode of Chainsaw Man? How did you feel about Power? Well, Power wasn't too relevant in this one. More so, how did you feel about Himeno's backstory with the whole situation of her partner's widow slapping her around and shit like that? Do you feel like that's what pushes her more so towards like, no, Aki's not using his ability. No, we're not killing Denji. Your thoughts on Aki's past, of how he was a real one helping out Himeno, even if it was in the most pettiest of situations. Kobeni, yay or nay? Are you a Kobeni fanboy? Are you one of those people that are like, oh my god, I love Kobeni? Or you see her for the psycho nut job, anxiety filled twit that Kobeni actually is with, dog, put that knife down now. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the future of Chainsaw Man with episode 7 and beyond. I gotta say that, I don't know, I felt like this did wonders for character development and characterization. Great stuff. ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Subscribe and hit that bell to get more, because yeah, Chainsaw Man's pretty freaking wacky, insane, and I don't know, I love it.